Are you looking for the best vacuums? In this video we will look at some of the 10 best vacuums on the market. Before we get started with our video, we have included links in the description, so make sure you check those out to see which one is in your budget range. Starting at number 1. Shark IZ862H Stratos Cordless Vacuum. For the best overall vacuum, it was neck and neck, wand in wand, between the Dyson Gen 5 Detect and the Shark Stratos. Ultimately, the Dyson snagged the top spot for its runtime, but the Shark has some major tricks up its cordless sleeve and is less than half the price. I was especially impressed by the Shark's ability to bend at a right angle so you can slide the whole vacuum under tables, couches, and beds. You can purchase a low-reach adapter for the Gen 5 Detect, but it's often out of stock. And like the Gen 5 Detect, the Stratos automatically boosts its suction power when it comes across bigger messes. This feature, called Clean Sense IQ, visually shows you when debris is detected and when it's clean. I tested the Stratos after hosting my 3 kid nephews for dinner, and we laughed about it working as a messy eater detector when you run it under each dining chair. Ceramicist Liz Burns is also a fan of the Stratos' contortionist capabilities. She says, "It's a dream to slide my Shark Stratos under my pottery wheel and beneath nearby shelves to pick up dust and debris with ease. Plus the whole thing folds in half for super compact storage. It's seriously amazing how small it becomes." At number 2. Shark AZ4002 Powerdetect Upright Vacuum Cleaner. This corded upright rivals the Seabo for a few reasons. First, you'll pay hundreds less for a carpet-friendly vacuum with a 1416-watt motor. Second, anyone who's leery of getting locked into a model that requires bag replacement will be happy to know that the Shark Powerdetect is bag-free. And like the Seabo, this vacuum works on a variety of floor types, including hard floor, low-pile carpet, and thick carpet. You can select the corresponding cleaning mode for each floor type on the touchscreen, or rely on the Powerdetect sensors to automatically identify a surface and adjust brush roll speed and suction power. This might be a plus for anyone who's overwhelmed by all the manual options on the Seabo. However, in my testing I did note that the Powerdetect had a harder time with a particularly high pile rug, getting momentarily tangled on the fibers, whereas the Seabo had no problem. This is a case where all that manual adjustment would come in handy, and why I think the Seabo still outranks the Powerdetect. At number 3. Dyson Gen 5 Detect Cordless Vacuum Cleaner. Dyson inspires remarkable loyalty among its customers, and it's at least partly because of the effectiveness of its vacuums and the innovations they brought to floor cleaning, particularly cordless sticks. The Gen 5 is the top of the line and the most powerful of Dyson's cordless stick vacuums. I tested the Gen 5 outsize, which has double the runtime and a dustbin that's over twice as large as the Gen 5 Detects, but its top heaviness and size make it a bit too unwieldy for many people. What blew me away was the vacuum's built-in LCD screen that gives you a satisfyingly grotesque count of how many particles it nabs from your floors. One pass beneath my writing desk yielded 108 million microscopic crumbs, an impressive amount of WFH bagel bits. You can also find the screen on the Gen 5 Detect, which is what I'd actually recommend to most people. Emily Ranager, Director of Business Operations at Shelfie, an NYC-based organizing service, is obsessed with her Gen 5 Detect and says it's a favorite of many in her circle. In addition to its 70-minute runtime, she's a fan of the included fluffy optic head's built-in light, which has twice the power of previous versions. It illuminates invisible dust and hair on my floors, so I can be sure I'm sucking up as much filth as possible. Ranager also raves about how it converts to a handheld vacuum, which is ideal for countertop spills. That's likely why Tony Roberts, the executive pastry chef at the Ritz-Carlton, Chicago, loves using her Gen 5 Detect in the kitchen. It's super light and gets all kinds of dusty bits, she says. It also has multiple cleaning heads that can be swapped in, and the filter is washable, so there's less waste. At number 4. Bissell FeatherWeight Stick Lightweight Bagless Vacuum. This amazingly affordable vacuum, it's only a fraction of the price of the Dyson, is not just lightweight, it's also extremely capable. I brought the FeatherWeight to my brother's house for testing on his Cat Piper's preferred perch, a carpeted staircase. I watched the FeatherWeight slurp up all the fur on each step, noting how nice it is that the floor nozzle is the exact width of a standard step. Twyla McGee, CEO and founder of pet care company Nola's Finest Pets, agrees that the FeatherWeight gets the job done for pet parents. Even though it's extremely light, this vacuum has a powerful suction that makes picking up pet hair on carpet, rugs, and hard floors a breeze, she says. And if you think such a bargain price means the vacuum won't last, McGee notes that she's had hers for almost 2 years now and it still works like it did on the first day. Like the Dyson, it can be converted into a handheld. At number 5. Miele Triflex HX2 Cordless Stick Vacuum Cleaner. I've been mindful of not only being impressed by large debris pickup, this thing just took down an entire ravioli, but also by machines that can handle microscopic messes. The Miele Triflex can do both, eradicating big crumbs as well as all traces of dust when I ran it beneath my couch. And because we can't see every puny particle, the machine automatically detects floor type and changes its rolling speed and power, concentrating longer on carpet. This gives me peace of mind, as my sinuses are especially sensitive to dust. Longtime Shark fan and even longer-time allergy sufferer Naveen Singh became an instant Miele convert after testing the Triflex HX2. I've always assumed Miele vacuums are all canister design, so it was cool to find out I could get the maneuverability of a cordless stick with the power of a Miele motor, he says. Singh was impressed by the Triflex HX2's ability to capture dust on both hardwood floors and rugs, something he doesn't mess around with in order to keep sneezing and runny noses at bay. With its HEPA lifetime filter, this model claims 99.999% filtration, picking up dust, allergens, and viruses. Plus it turns into a handheld, so I can use it in my car, too, Singh says. I'm the kind of guy who even keeps a mini trash can in my car, so this level of trustworthy cleanliness is major. At number 6. Dreame H14 Wet/Dry Vacuum Cleaner. So many vacuums claim to be multifunctional, but as with most all-in-one products, few really perform well at everything they claim to do. The Dreame H14 is one of the exceptions. I began testing this model with a layup for any wet/dry vac, a cereal spill with both solid pieces and milk. It was no problem for the Dreame H14, which not only sucks up such a mess easily but also filters solid waste from liquids in its used water tank. This makes disposal extra convenient because you can dump particles in the trash and liquids in the sink. Most other wet/dry vacuums leave you with a mixed bag of a mess that can risk clogging your sink or toilet. Then I moved on to tougher tests, including a week's worth of dried coffee drops and stray beans on the floor below my coffee maker, as well as dried maple syrup. The Dreame H14 had no problem with either, though the syrup required a few passes. Compared to other wet/dry models I've tested, like the Tin EcoFloor 1S5 and EcoWell Lulu Quick Clean P05, the Dreame H14 has superior suction. It's also equipped with an intelligent sensor to automatically increase power for more serious stains, or gobble up light messes on lower suction for energy efficiency. As anyone who has ever mopped knows, tackling your floors is only half the battle. You then have to clean your cleaning tools, a thankless task with grime-ridden mop heads and buckets. Here's where the Dreame H14 really shines. Simply dock your machine and initiate self-cleaning mode, which blasts the rotating brush with hot water. Drying mode takes only 5 minutes, a major plus compared to competitors that whirl for a noisy 30 minutes, a nuisance if you store your vacuum within earshot like I do. Add to this the ability to lay flat to devour messes under chairs and couches, plus edge-to-edge cleaning to get flush with baseboards and cabinets, and the Dreame H14 is, well, a dream. At number 7. Bissell CrossWave HydroSteam Wet/Dry Vacuum. I wanted to try a more moderately priced wet/dry vacuum, and fortunately, the aftermath of a family barbecue presented the ideal testing opportunity. There was a minefield of mustard-strewn tile, crushed Cheetos on an area rug, and the remnants of a puke mess in the entryway from a friend's daughter who went too hard on the bounce house. Setup is easy. The CrossWave HydroSteam comes with sterilizing formulas for both hard floors and multi-surfaces, so you simply fill a tank with water and formula, then snap it into the back of the vacuum. You switch between modes, hard floor, steam wash, or area rug, on the handle, which sits at the end of a, dare I say, lovely copper stick. Within minutes, I tackled my multi-surface mess and was very happy with the ease of cleanup and end results. Unlike the Dreame H14, this wet/dry triples as a steamer, utilizing hot vapor to break down extra sticky messes, a nice bonus. However, the CrossWave HydroSteam's self-cleaning cycle flushes the machine's interior but doesn't cleanse the roller brush. That part has to be done by hand, and the brush has to sit out for at least 24 hours for drying in order to prevent bacteria growth and odor. This model is also corded, doesn't lie flat, and has a smaller dirty water tank than the Dreame H14, which means more frequent dumping. However, the CrossWave HydroSteam is still a powerful machine at half the price. At number 8. Dyson Car+Boat Handheld Vacuum Cleaner. This hard-working handheld, which nabbed the top spot in our roundup of the best handheld vacuums, delivers the performance we love in a full-size Dyson but in a portable form. It replaces the Dyson Humdinger, our previous pick for best vacuum for cars, as the brand's all-portable offering. While the Humdinger had a max runtime of only 25 minutes, this model can go for 50 minutes, more than enough time to clean the full interior of my SUV. It is, however, heavier than the Humdinger, which weighed only 2.2 pounds, but that didn't slow me down as I tackled the cereal buffet my toddler had somehow jammed into every nook and cranny of his car seat. The included crevice tool was great for this, and it proved extra useful in decrumbing my drink holders and the ribbed floor mats. The mini motorized tool was effective at picking up any remaining detritus, as I swept it across seats and carpeted side panels. Consider the Car+Boat your secret weapon for at-home detailing. At number 9. Shark MessMaster Portable Wet/Dry Vacuum. The Shark MessMaster is basically a scaled-down shop vac for home use. I used it to tidy up around my toddler's high chair after dinner, and was amazed to watch his whole raviolis, orange segments, and an entire dirty rag disappeared into the wet/dry wand within seconds. Realizing that I had basically brought a machete to trim a dandelion, I went in search of bigger messes. A repotting project gave me what I needed. The MessMaster went to work gobbling up large globs of dirt as well as excess sand and gravel. I then swapped in the squeegee attachment, conveniently stored on the machine itself, to scrape away any remaining residue. The power of the MessMaster is unparalleled. Though I did find two minor downsides: the power cord doesn't retract and you do have to carry the main unit, it doesn't have wheels. But other advantages, like its built-in attachment storage and the fact that you can line the interior dust can with bags you already have at home, make this vacuum a solid tool for heavy-duty cleaning. At number 10. Levoit LVAC-300. Levoit first dazzled hard floor dwellers with its LVAC-200 model, which is notable for its ease of use, compact size, and still impressive suction. The new LVAC-300 builds on all the celebrated features of its predecessor, plus adds some new bells and whistles. For starters, an LED display that shows the remaining battery percentage as well as your selected suction level is a convenient addition. Also, the LVAC-300 comes with a new attachment, a mini motorized brush. The standard vacuum head already excels at reaching under furniture and into small spaces, but the mini motorized brush gives you an even more compact option. I found it most useful for cleaning bathrooms, as the brush can sweep around toilets and cabinetry with ease. But the biggest upgrade between models is the power in the motor, going from 180W in the LVAC-200 to an impressive 240W in the LVAC-300. The Dyson Gen 5 Detect has a 350W motor but also costs more than twice as much. In my testing, the LVAC-300 didn't meet debris it couldn't handle, easily sucking up cracker crumbs, large pieces of cereal, and long strands of hair in the bathroom. With the additional power, the maximum runtime is slightly shorter, tapping out at 40 minutes as opposed to 50 minutes, but I think the power is worth it. Though if you're looking to save a little, the LVAC-200 is still an exceptional option for hard floors and is $200 less than the new model.